Let's talk about venture on 36th Street. So this is our latest project, 36th Street, north of Thomas, between Thomas and Osborne. You know, that area is interesting. I mentioned it as I've had conversations with investors. People who know that area know that it's one of the up and coming areas, very close to, as I mentioned, Biltmore to Arcadia Light. And it's, if you drive that area, you see new development, infill projects.
So that's a big thing to touch on. So DR Horton, some other big developers have all come in there and they've wiped out groups of homes and older apartment buildings that were single story and low density and put higher density stuff on there. It's, again, this neighborhood, looking forward the next 10 years, you'll see a whole bunch more of that happen. And 36th Street's just been probably the one street that had the most consistent higher density multifamily.
Yeah.
There's a senior retirement home across the street, very well known. I've heard about some celebrity guests that are there, very famous people in Arizona that live there as seniors. The whole neighborhood sets up really well and got a lot of services. And like I said, there's a very strong employment generator in that area, and that's what I look for. Why are the rents so low? Why is it mismanaged? I don't know if you heard the whole story, but unfortunately, the gentleman who bought this property that owned it passed away, and his 95-year-old mother inherited it, and this is not her thing. And they hired a residential type property management company.
Probably doesn't sell a lot of apartment buildings.
Yeah. It's just outside of their element. So anyway, that's what we do really best. So for me to be in it, I don't even know if we're going to hit 20,000 a unit in renovations. We do that as a placekeeper because everything keeps going up in costs. I don't think we'll be that high. I mean, even on 12th place, you heard the good news. We're slightly under budget on that for renovations.
And those renovations came out really, really well. Yeah, so it hits all of our hot buttons. It's in a core area, up and coming area, close to freeways, below market rents, needs a renovation. Our team knows how to do that. We're just completing a project around the corner so that we're ready for the next one. Our design team, Haley, put together a great palette of colors that I think are it just is going to transform the property. And it doesn't take a lot. A lot of this is cosmetic. I think you call that lipstick and eyeshadow.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's it. You just have to take it to the next level, and we don't have to tear the property apart.
Yeah.
So, and they also added covered parking to the back that wasn't there before. We can't add much more to it because of the way the property sets up. But again, to me, I mean, even the signage, you drive up, the property management sign is a 4x8 sign, but tell me what the name of the property is when you drive up. You can't see it.
Yeah. So, and new paving in that.
That's right. They paved the parking lot too,
which is just an added bonus. Yeah. So I think it's a kind of a basic property. It's a basic, for us, we've done a lot of these before. You know, it's a 3-year hold. So it gives us time to do a good renovation. We expect we'll start paying distributions within a year. Might be earlier than that.
Well, it might be earlier. The reason why we always give us that much time is because we have residents to work with as their leases roll over. So
and then have release those units, get it cash flowing, and then we'll start paying those distributions. And right now is an interesting time when it comes to apartments, but the values are holding up. We wouldn't sell today, but we look 3 years out. That gives us plenty of time to to ensure that we have the time we can sell it when we want to.
That's an important factor. So to kind of put a bow on the whole thing, we're buying this at a price point and at a post renovation value that makes sense even in today's interest environment, which that's really, let me let that settle in for a second. So we're buying this today to make sense if interest rates stay where they are.
At 6.5 or 7.
And that's, so any reprieve in interest rates at all down the road, which most likely is going to happen. I'm not saying they're going to go down as low as they were before. They don't have to. Even 1 point drop, this thing cash flows significantly more because of the way leverage works. And that's why we're buying these things, that this makes sense.
Yeah. And I love how we think about that. You know, if you buy it at today's rate, you refinance it at that lower rate, that additional cash flow just ends up being profit. So we like the property. Thanks for coming in, talking a bit more about it. We're actively fundraising right now, and we're approaching 100 investors, which is great. And we look forward to getting this property over the line and getting to work.
Yeah. Thank you very much for looking at it. It's a great project.